This video introduces the minefield of fathers thinking, my son will pass his practical driving test with my help. And I know how to pass the UK practical driving test first time because I have been driving for over 30 years and I have never had an accident. This features Lenny the Lion, who represents a 50-year-old father who would like to teach his 17-year-old son how to pass the UK practical driving test first time. Lenny passed his driving test 30 years ago in Nigeria. He came to the UK 20 years ago, drove on an international licence for a year, and then took and passed the UK practical driving test without any driving lessons whatsoever. Now, he does have a very good relationship with his son, and they have a standing joke that Lenny is King Mufasa and his son is Simba, from The Lion King, of course. Lenny thinks that he can effectively teach his son to pass as he himself did 19 years ago. He has purchased the Fly High Driving Academy Complete Learner Driver video course package and taken the UK Practical Driving Test Readiness quiz that is part of that package. However, he only scored 3 out of 36, indicating that he would not even be ready to retake, let alone pass, the test were he to retake it at this point in time. The UK Practical Driving Test Readiness Quiz has also usefully revealed several gaps in his knowledge and understanding of test standard driving. The purpose of today's assessment and troubleshooting day is to get Lenny to continue to use the driving video course package himself while his son independently receives an intensive in-car practical driving course, so that Lenny can support his son in the final stages of the learning to drive process. This will show Lenny how to pass the current UK practical driving test first time, because at the moment he just doesn't get it. And it will also allow him to more legitimately make the claim, my son will pass his practical driving test with my help. And of course, truly be King Mufasa for his beloved Simba. So Lenny, how did you do on the UK practical driving test readiness quiz? Okay. So you acknowledge you only got 3 out of 36. Okay, so what did you make of that? Okay. He says that the questions were a little bit strange and he didn't really understand it. Well, okay, they are designed to find out if you do indeed understand the essentials that clearly are not there, Lenny. Okay, so the test does show that you need to get some fundamentals back in your conscious awareness and then put it into practice. Yes, I know you've been driving for a long time and I know you passed first time without any lessons, but things have changed a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a demonstration drive on a selection of roads, okay, before getting behind the wheel, give you a chance to see what it is that needs to happen, what it is that needs to change in your driving. And by the end of that, hopefully you'll see that what you're doing does need a fair bit of tweaking. And ultimately, you can retake that readiness test when you've gone through the whole process that we'll talk about at the end. Because remember, most people out there would struggle to actually pass because of the bad habits. It's just getting those fundamentals back. Okay, does that sound like a plan? I mean, the motivation is, of course, so you can actually end up teaching Simba. Okay. Yes. Okay. He says, yes, he's prepared to go for that. That's why he's here. Okay, that's great. So we need to get you in the passenger seat, and then I'm going to give you the demonstration drive. Okay? Great. Okay, Lenny, so I'm going to give you a very brief demonstration of test standard driving within a number of different roads. We're going to do a little bit of residential work, okay, junctions, turning left, turning right, emerging left, emerging right, and also a few roundabouts as well, and town driving scenarios, lights, etc. But obviously from your readiness test score, there are quite a few gaps that you need to work on, okay? So just be open to the process, all right? What's that? No, there's no zebra. It's at, no, we're not driving through the plains. No, this is just Ipswich. Okay, you're having a laugh, aren't you? You're having a giraffe. No, we're not going to take a giraffe down. No, that's just an expression. Okay, and this is a demonstration drive in Ipswich, just to give you a sense of what you need to do to get back to that test standard that you obviously had at one point, although the test is probably more stringent now than it was, okay? So it's just to give you an idea of what you need to do, and then to encourage you to use the video package to get to the point where you need to get to, so that you can actually sit in on Simba's lessons once he just needs someone to be there to practice, all right? Okay, so control, observation and response. So try to do it by the book, try to learn the routines. We are going to prepare first. Appropriate observation, decide if we're going to go, be discriminating about the signal on this occasion, final check, and we're going to go. Is it a second gear? Yes it is, so it's mirrors and gas. Let's have second gear, gas through, pressure on, smoothly off. Think what's there. Is it a third gear? At the moment, no. We have to drive at a speed that allows you to stop well with distance you can see to be clear. So the dog are being shepherded over. That's fine. Now it is a third gear. Okay, staying over. It's a 30-mile-an-hour residential road. There's cars there on a bend. It's coming off, and there's a zebra crossing. We do need to respond to that. Just coming off a little bit. Can we clear? Yes, we can. We're going to take the second turning on the right, okay? We start the junction mantra. You probably haven't heard of that. Coming off nice and early. It's mirrors and signal, and we are going to get the speed off, match the gear, and then assess. Can we go? No. So we do need to get ready. Final observation ahead, junction mirror. It's all on the clutch in first gear. Keep the pressure just above that bite, and then we're going to make some progress. Okay, mirrors and gas. Fairly sharp bend ahead, and the hedge is quite blind. So it's a speed that allows us to respond to things happening out of the blue. Alright, now looking for a third gear, but actually the maintenance vehicle on the right there on approach was not allowing us to see, and also that draws traffic in, okay? So we're going to emerge right at the end of the road. Just coming off, hazard response, cars on the right, parked, draws oncoming towards you, okay? End of the road, we are going to turn right. Always mirrors first. Always signal at junctions and roundabouts. So we're looking to always do these T-junctions in first gear. Get ready, on the clutch, up and down, final look, round we go. Notice the steering, use all of the wheel, yeah? Mirrors and gas. You've got to keep that control so you can do a final look at a speed that allows you to respond if something comes out of nowhere. Now the junction ahead, no signal was required, but at the main roundabout we're going straight over second exit, okay? Coming off, it's a hazard response. I am going to get some speed off. Check again, and just holding back. Full mirrors, don't signal. Position over, brake us down first gear, give way to the right. The car is pointed, the bite stops him rolling back. And these are the roundabout strategies. You've got to get this in here. So potentially up and dip, always check again. Check that side, stay in the lane. Second gear, there's my bollard, mirrors, signal left. Look, check, go. Speed is 30, so it's mirrors, gas. Let's get there, match the gear to the speed. Now after the bollard we're going to change lanes right, and the key thing is to to keep the signal on. So it's mirrors, centre and right signal, stay where you are with the signal on, check, glance, then steer, just in case someone's there. Now the pedestrian lights are green, not likely to change. We're going to go right, fourth exit. The lane is our position. So second gear off and cover. Can we go? Maybe. Can we still go? Yes, but the gas, check the near side. Centre of the lane. Okay. We're coming up to the bollard of our exit before. At this point it's mirrors, centre and left signal, lane discipline, check that door mirror before you change position. Do a look, check, go. Do you remember any of this? No? Okay. So always left-hand lane by default unless you know otherwise. At the roundabout we're going left first exit towards the town centre. Okay, so it's mirrors and signal, position, just covering. Can I go maybe? Can I still go yes, gas? Check, and then look, check, go. Throwing your vision ahead. Is it a third gear situation? Well, not quite yet because of the car pulling out. Making some progress. Yeah, we're going to go into third gear. Now at the end of the road we are going to turn towards other routes, which will be left. So just coming off, it's mirrors, centre and left, but time the signal, don't do it too soon. Position over, and we are going to go into first gear early for this scenario. And there is just about room to go really slowly on the clutch. As long as he stays over, ready to respond if it all changes. Crucially important to point the car. So handbrake told if you need to know, potentially there's a box junction there, so up and dip. Am I going to go with control? Check this near side and second gear. Mirrors, gently brake. So that was a little bit of advanced driving there because I did read the speed of the transit. He just held back enough to give me room. You do need to be a little bit careful. Now, spiral roundabouts. Do you remember spiral roundabouts? No, you don't. Okay. Well, we are going to go straight over, fourth exit, signposted towards Ravenswood. Okay, so town, full mirror check. There's a cycle lane there, could be anything on the near side or offside. So it's not right fourth exit, it's a designated lane for Ravenswood, so it's straight over fourth exit. Get in the lane you need when you're on the roundabout, don't cut any spiral that appears when you're actually in the lane you need. Okay, so the board tells us that all routes other than Ravenswood is the left-hand lane, left-hand split, but we want the right-hand split for Ravenswood. So it's mirrors again, just cover and assess. Is there room? Just about. So it's straight over, which is a full mirror check, no signal approach. It's clearly designated as for Ravenswood. Can we go? Not sure. Brake us down first gear. Yes. Check again. Check this side. There's a spiral there, but we get in the lane clearly marked. Now when we're on the roundabout, any other spiral that appears, you don't cut it. So we're still going to apply the roundabout protocols. There's my bollard, mirrors, signal, lane discipline, check before I steer, look, check, go. It's not as important with a spiral, but it's good to practice. So this is atypical. Right? If you did want to go straight over or right, you'd have to get over early. We're in left only lane, left first exit, that's where we're going. Okay. Always good to point, check, check again, gas, near side, look, check, go. But approaching now with brake us down first gear because he didn't respond. We're on the clutch. 20 zone, going to stay in second gear. We're going to pull up on the left. So it's mirrors, centre and left, signal to the oncoming. Gently brake, clutch down, stop in the gear. So we're going to stop, cancel, secure. Right, so it's a 20 zone, there's traffic calming measures ahead, so you've got to oversteer to go round them, don't grab the job curbs. So observation, don't need to signal at this point, could change, but there we are, and it has changed, and we're going to signal, blind spot, and go. Okay, now, a bit of gas to get there, now you oversteer to miss the drop curbs, to traffic calm, yeah, just cover. Let's it's more lock than you think towards you, towards me, and then straighten up. Once you've got that lock on, you've got to use the wheel. Alright, crucially important. Going to wash and wipe at the front, going to hold it down for a bit of wipe there. That's a pinch point coming up to another chicane, and just watch the steering. Just carving the brake, time it, oversteer slightly towards you, oversteer towards me, then towards you, keep steering and straighten up. Pinch point ahead, drive defensively, no one's there. Okay, so we're going to use this long about to come back. Again, you need to miss the drop curbs. The key thing is use the wheel. Let it take effect. Try to watch the steering. Okay, so I'm going to pull down and slide, change grip, push up and slide, hold it, straighten up, hold it, pull down, push up as I need it, hold it and straighten up. So I'm going to steer towards me, then towards you to take this exit. No signal is required, but there is a defensive potential ahead for the pinch point. No defensive driving is required. They've got another little chicane here, yeah? So you don't prepare as you do with a junction, you just feed that wheel through. The key thing is to oversteer without delay, opposite direction, and straighten up. Okay, mirrors before you change position. Keep it parallel, car doors with clearance. If you have to get it closer than that, get that speed down. Okay. Oncoming has priority, mirrors just cover the brake. Are we going to go potentially? Are we still going to go yes? No signal is required. We are in the middle of the road, so we can't go too fast. We're looking for gaps that we can pull in to give way to oncoming. Now, at about here we are sort of committed, so I'm going to make a little bit of progress. Now the roundabout is just a normal main roundabout. We are turning right third exit. Okay, it's a junction with additional requirements, so it's always potentially up and dip on the clutch. Check again, check the near side, hug that roundabout, don't hit him. And we come gently. It's a medium-sized roundabout. We're not going to overgas. Coming up to my bollard. Exit before mirror signal. Stay where you are. Check before I steer. Okay, something's there. Look, check, go. This is the lane for town centre left. First exit. Right, so as I come off the gas, move my head. So potentially after the motorbikes. Potentially yes. Check again. Yes. Check the near side. If in doubt, brake us down first gear. Okay, so the approach speed while covering the brake in second gear allowed me to make the final decision relatively late, and that keeps the traffic flowing. Now ahead, the lights, they're not traffic, they are pedestrian. People are there. They've probably pressed the button, so we treat it like a stale green, and it has actually stopped. We're going to stop in the gear, secure the car, feet off. Now we're in town, so it's crucially important that you prepare, check centre, left and right. We've stopped in the gear, you've got to check all three mirrors, centre, left and right. And it's on the clutch until it's a second gear situation. Again, mirrors, gas, let's have second gear. Be aware of the cycle lane. You don't go in the cycle lane unless it's absolutely unavoidable, because you don't know whether it's in operation or not. It's a little bit different with other road markings, but again, these are little things you just got to get clear in your head. Hatch lines with broken borders, the rule is slightly different. It's not unavoidable, it's necessary and safe to do so. So again, you've just got to get these things in your head. So we're not over-gassing because of the situation ahead, but we are making a little bit of progress. Okay. So that was really just fundamental basics of a bit of residential driving, town driving, dealing with lights, junctions, roundabouts. Obviously there's a lot to go over there, and there is more on the different roads and situations. But how do you find that? Yes. When you verbalise it, it is a lot. But it's these fundamentals of keeping control, looking where you need to look, and responding to what you see. Okay. Holding back when you need to. Early hazard response. Reverse gas speed, the road match the gear. Make sure you make good progress where you can. Because the danger is to think test standard is driving slow for too long, which is obviously not good, because that makes other drivers do silly things. That was your demonstration drive. You now need to hop over here, get yourself ready, and put it all into practice, and we'll see how you do. So Lenny, what have you got out of today's assessment stroke troubleshooting day? And are you actually clear about how you go forward from here? We obviously have had a chat about it. What do you make of it all? Okay, he says that it's been an eye-opener, but he does take on board that he needs to go through a process. Well, that's good, because you've got the video course package, and you can definitely use that to get yourself up to speed. So yeah, that's good that you've acknowledged that. So where you go forward from here, you clearly need to continue to work through the video course package with Simba simultaneously and independently having a minimum of 45 hours, ideally within the context of an intensive driving course. Right, 5 hours a day with a grade 6/A driving instructor who is experienced in delivering these intensive courses, because that's definitely the best way to go. Again, ideally be over a continuous 2-week period, Monday to Friday times 2 as a guide. And when Simba has completed his 45-hour course without you being involved, very tempting to intervene, try not to. Okay, and then when you have completed the driving video course package and all the exercises and maybe had a chance to try on the road yourself, and when you've retaken the UK practical driving test readiness quiz, you've taken that once. At the start it was a score of 3 out of 36. You do need to achieve a minimum of about 31 out of 36. And I would say to you then, and only then, should you consider, with suitable insurance of course, venturing out on the road with Simba in the driving seat. So, I trust that this has given you guys a useful take on how to pass the UK practical driving test first time, as this of course is crucial to know should you be considering teaching your son to drive and be the proud father able to say, my son will pass the practical driving test with my help. Now this is actually a hell of a claim to make, and not for the faint-hearted, nor to be attempted unless you have an exceptionally good relationship with your son. It can work of course, but for most people it's a problematic situation, because the learning to drive dynamic, particularly as you do not have the dual controls, is inevitably fraught with danger for the uninitiated. You don't want the anxiety of not being able to stop the car actually infiltrating and sort of infecting the learning process. That's not helpful. So I would advise you think carefully before you go down this road. However, it can work, and if you think the relationship can cope, and crucially, as long as you are prepared to identify and address with professional help your own almost inevitable bad habits that do creep in over years on the road, then yes, it's possible that you will be able to support your son in the final stage of his learning to drive journey. Now please note that it is absolutely not advisable that you attempt to teach your son from scratch, unless of course you happen to be an approved driving instructor. If you guys watching this would like to be able to say, my son will pass his practical driving test with my help, and follow the plan outlined earlier, crucially including your use of the complete learner driver video course package, see the link below. So please don't forget the YouTube stuff below. and I look forward to seeing you in the next furry friend video that will hopefully feature Petey the Python. Until then, feel free of course to rewatch the Lion King movie and check out King Mufasa and Simba.